Oh, thanks. I was just gonna do that, Ash. Grady's here. Hey, Grady.
Is that Ashley over there?
Yes.
Good morning.
What do you
Hi, Miss
do?
Annie.
What do you do?
I am due in 5 weeks. September
Yay.
19th. Yep.
So my daughter-in-law has been up all night walking. And the contractions are every 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you're in.
Yeah, I may have to skedaddle if we go to the hospital.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
She wants to wait. She doesn't want to do it at the hospital. No, I don't want to wait. I mean, she goes, she'd rather do it here,
Mm.
Look at Grady
Well,
out this morning. That looks gorgeous. Are you in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Grand.
Looks pretty good. Well, I'm in Florida. It's going to be another hot 100-degree day here. How's the weather in Arizona?
Same here.
Yeah, hot. 100 degrees.
100. I was out
105.
I just went out to do a live video to promote this. I walked outside, my whole camera just fogged up on my phone. So, okay, guys, I'm just going to jump in because it is really exciting what's going on, and I want to share things with people. And so I want to know what's happening in your lives right now. Hi, Pam. What good stuff, if we want to leave our mics open so everybody can just jump right in, what are you guys visualizing? Because that's what we're talking about today, is visualization and manifestation. Because I'm telling you, it's been showing up all around for me. This universe, there's something going on. I know the sun is exploding and, sending out all these things, and it may be messing up technology, but it is got my brain on fire. So who wants to jump in and share some stuff with visualization and what's been going on? And then we'll get into the definitions and some questions. Okay, Pam.
I had a feeling that might be coming. So I have been doing all kinds of visualization just about my business as a whole and what direction it's going to go. So excited to start working with Peggy on reaching some of those goals. But one of the big ones for me, for about 10 years now, I have wanted to get involved with some type of project to bring clean water to third world countries where they have no access. And it just, either I didn't have the money to be a part of it, or I didn't have when I did, I didn't have the people in my life to know how to get involved in that. And it's been something that I've refocused on probably here in the last month and a half, just trying to refocus on why this business is still important to me, why I need to be grinding still in real estate. And so I kind of recommitted myself to that purpose, and had made a commitment that every 10 closings, I want to be able to fund a project like that. And it was like, man, as soon as I put that out there and said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm gonna find a way to make it happen, all these people started coming into my life. So I went to the Build conference in Dallas a couple weeks ago and met an agent there out of Houston who's from Nigeria. And he has a really good friend that runs a ministry that's what they do, is clean water projects over there. And so he connected me with Frank, and I'm not even kidding. I came home, and that weekend at church on Sunday, we had a mission group that's what they do in Uganda, is they actually work with families over a 3-year period. And it's everything from helping them get water filtration and clean water to teaching them just basic hygiene and healthcare. And I could literally fund a whole family for a 3-year period for much less than I thought, honestly. But it was just crazy how putting just putting it out there, making the commitment, all these people just started coming into my life. And then I was talking to Peggy this last week, because then I was excited to see that she's working on some coaching stuff right now. And I was like, I'm going to need that, because I've made this commitment now and my business is just like everywhere all of a sudden. So it's, throw it out there, but you better be ready to receive it too.
Exactly. So, I have had so many amazing things happening, and I just kind of wanted to share with you, because coming off of Build 24, first of all, Nicole and her team in Dallas, and this is what I love about our company, they put on a 2-day event in a fabulous hotel. We're not talking chintzy, we're talking, very, very high-end hotel, catered food, amazing speakers who flew in from all over the country and the world to speak to us. This is not an EXP event. This is agents who want to help other agents that put on these unbelievable events. And Nicole had a vision. She hadn't done this before. She said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get 500 agents to show up. And it happened. And it was even better than what she thought, because think about when you bring all these people together who are at this high level with production, luxury, social media, expanding, their business into countries all around the world. You bring that energy together, you're going to be vibrating at a very high level. So she manifested that, and that came together. Then I literally went from Dallas to jump on a ship in Florida, and I did Build 24 at sea. People, again, this is an event put on by agents. It has nothing to do with our company. This is agents helping agents. So these agents had a vision that 300 agents would say, okay, I'll get on a ship, I'll go to the Bahamas, and I will be there, show up and connect. And people spoke. And again, it's all about what you're putting out to the universe. So some people have said to me in the past, I have to say my husband, who passed away, he used to always say to me, what's all that woo-woo stuff that you do? And, some people think that that's what it is, and that's okay. What I've learned with this, hi, Dee Dee, is that you can't change people to visualize what you want or to manifest. And if they don't get it, they don't get it. Stop trying. So visualization is the process of really creating a vivid mental image of something. It's a desired outcome. It's a goal. It involves imagining the expertise in the detail, including your sights, sounds, emotions, sensations, to mentally rehearse achieving your goals. And one of the things that I took away from the Build cruise was Gogo was on stage and she was talking about this. And I was thinking that I visualized at a very high level. And Dee Dee, I think you remember this. Not only did she put out what she wanted, she talked about the sounds, the laughter that she heard. She talked about seeing people standing around her pool, who was in her pool, who was cooking at her grill. She went so deep on the details that all of this happened. And to be there, and Dee Dee, you brought your family with you. Eugene brought his daughter. Gogo had her kids there. Other people had their kids there. What a gift to be able to share that. So the visualization is, I really want to focus on that for the second half of the year with everything. And then someone, people often ask, what's the difference between visualization and manifestation? Manifestation is the process of bringing your visualized goals into reality through focused intention, belief, and action. You have to take action, right, guys? It's based on the idea that aligning your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with your desires and goals you can attract what you want into your life. So I know there's some people on here that are saying, yeah. They're still, maybe still not believing in this. I have manifested things forever. And I know that, people say, okay, I'm going to visualize a parking space and I'm going to get the best parking space. And you got to up your game on the parking spaces, man. Hey, Sarah, you've definitely got to up your game on your parking spaces. So how many of you have a better understanding and of visualization and the difference between visualization and manifestation? Hey, Brad, you're on camera. Love it. All right. So I'm going to invite you not to jump off this call. I want you to really stay on it. And I really want you to right now for a second, just close your eyes and think about something that you really, really want. Can you feel it? Can you touch it? Can you smell it? Do you see on the peripheral side? Do you see what's in front of it? What's in back of it? What are the sounds? What are you hearing? What's that feeling that you have right now? If you take a really deep breath and you just kind of let it out. Oh, how good does that feel? What else? So does anybody want to share right now? Because I believe you have to put it out there also. You have to say it. Who wants to share with me? Dee Dee, what you see, what you feel?
Well, this brings back the speech by Coach Burt, Flip the Switch, the prey drive, right? That dogs and animals, when they see something, they have to see it. And they already calculate in their head how far they got to run, how high they got to jump to catch that frisbee they see. It's not about the frisbee. It's the object is what they want. It's their target. And they strategize quickly, height, pace, and all that. Anyway, I've been doing some serious visualization, and I'm so happy to announce that I went active on a listing late last night. That's I'm a little late today because we're hustling. Look at this, awesome, for $755 grand, right? It's awesome. Anyway, went live.
Woo-hoo! Did you get it signed? Yours?
I got my sign. Got open house on Sunday. I'm visualizing a successful open house with cinnamon rolls. Get that scent going. And I want positivity and happy people coming in and leaving and giving me terrific feedback. And for my co-listing agent / seller, that he's really happy with what I do. And so far it's been a great fit, and we're excited, and we just went live. So this all comes to play for me, Peggy. Visualization, manifestation. It's been big. It's been really big. And ever since Build, that made a big difference for me. Brent said, if you don't like something about what's going on with his finances and so forth, do something about it.
Right.
Act. Don't just sit there and just soup in it or whatever you want to say. It's just get up and do something. And I spoke to a wonderful agent that was at Build. We made a connect. She made a huge referral for me, and it was just, it was all through Build. This all came about through Build, guys. So conferences and events make a big difference. Yeah. It's cool.
That's wonderful. And I'm so happy for you. Can I add one thing to your visualization?
Yes, indeed.
Signing that contract, putting the sold sign on, and seeing the money in your bank book that it's closed. Let's take it all the way through.
All the way.
Let's just go right through that.
All the way. And celebrating with my seller. I want to celebrate with him. It's been terrific ever since coming back from Build, even more so. Gene visited once, and he says something about, visualization and all that stuff, and being meaningful with all that stuff. And I said, and from after this call, I'm going to take action. And I have. And I wasn't going to go to Build, because it takes time, finances, and organizing, arranging the whole family. But I said, this is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And It was indeed every minute of it, running into Peggy, seeing faces that I've only seen on a screen, to actually touch and feel and hear their voices right in front of me. It was an amazing thing, guys. Whether it's a small event or big event, anything. It made a big difference in my life, and it was great. Everybody made a big difference. So
I'm so glad. Yes, congratulations, Dee Dee.
thank you. It's
So-
happening.
It is happening, and you can seriously manifest anything. So who else wants to share what they visualize? Because we have to put it out there. Brad, I don't have to call on you. Woo-hoo! You're just like, I'm going to say, hey, Brad.
Well, yeah, you're going to call me anyway, so I may as well put my hand up.
I love it.
I'm looking over. I was thinking about Disneyland, and taking the family there for Christmas. And like, when you walk through the gates of Magic Kingdom, and got my family with me, and yeah.
Brad, I have tears in my eyes because you and I and that's been like one of your big whys. And there's been so many things that have been holding you back, and fear, and how am I going to do it, and disappointment, and everything else. So yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you're going to do it. Sarah, Sarah had me out when I coached Sarah's team, and we did a vision board party back in January. And Sarah, what are some of the things? Now, I didn't visualize that I was going to be driving a bulldozer, but it did happen. So what are some of the things that you've seen coming true from that vision board event?
Well, I had become more mindful with my health and just incorporating more exercise into a movement of body. So, I mean, that definitely happened. And then what's interesting is I had put something on there when we had that I was really of the mindset that, I did want to up my recruiting and my agent attraction. And then I spent some time with that and decided that, right now I just had too much. I was just overwhelmed. And what I'm really craving is just more control, more organization of my time, not flying by the seat of my pants as much. Just starting every day with intention and, just being more organized. I mean, if you could see my desk, you think I'm a hot mess express, which I kind of am.
But you
Big
need
surprise there, got
Yeah.
a lot going on all the time. And then Jennifer, my assistant's out on maternity leave, for a while. We don't know how long she'll be gone, but, just extra stuff. And I think right now, for me to visualize something, it's to visualize just a little more calm, a little more control, a little more organization, where I'm not letting anything fall through the cracks. So that's actually been on my vision board several years now, to have less chaos and more calm.
So a couple of things that came true. I had a car with a bow on it. Within less than 6 weeks, I had a brand new car. I had a really weird thing. All of a sudden, I was putting Paris, Paris, Paris up there. And this is interesting. Just because you visualize something, you don't have to go through with it, but it shows up. Within 48 hours of me putting Paris on the board, and I told Sarah this, I got invited to my girlfriend's 70th birthday party in Paris. Annie, drop your mouth. Yeah, seriously. I was like, are you kidding me? And then there were some other things that came up. But one of the blessed things, and you mentioned that your assistant is on maternity leave, there were some problems with her getting pregnant and losses, and a lot of stuff was going on. And she put on her vision board that she wanted a baby, and she wasn't sure if she, could get pregnant or not. Within 48 hours, I have chills. She found out she was pregnant. I mean, so you can do anything. Ashley is going to give birth, and she's visualized that and talked about it and all of that. So for those of you that don't believe, yes, you're manifesting that parking spot, but I don't know if a lot of you noticed that there were roses on the background of the flyer that we put out this week. So can I share the story with you and why I'm so like psyched about it? So I'm going to show you these gorgeous roses. And actually, I didn't even think they were going to bloom. So I was in Trader Joe's, and even though I'm here staying at my girlfriend's house, I have to be surrounded by flowers. If I'm with you, I'll buy them and we share them. So just really fast, I was in Trader Joe's, I saw the flowers, and this gentleman watched me put the flowers in my cart, and I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I made up a story in my head. And then I started feeling like, well, I don't have anybody to buy me flowers, poo, poo, poo. Fast forward, I get to the checkout, and these roses were not looking that good. I'm talking to the woman, and she's like, are those the best ones? I'm like, yeah, they already checked in the back, blah, blah, blah. She goes, wait a minute, let me check with my manager. So I think that she's calling him over to have him go double check and see if there's any roses. He looks at the roses, he looks at me, and he goes, those roses are my gift to you. Swear to God. Yeah, close your mouth. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Ashley just posted my Facebook Live. I got in my car and I could not believe it. And then when I was in my car, I realized this BMW. I've wanted to drive a BMW. I wanted to drive the larger SUV. I went to the counter. How many of you have rented a car lately? It's pretty damn expensive, wouldn't you agree? Especially if you want a luxury vehicle. I'm driving a gorgeous BMW S5 from a rental car company. My rate is $48 a day. I got to the rental car company and he says, oh, would you like this BMW SUV? Can I keep it?
Stop
So,
it.
Ashley's like, you are not getting one. You just got a brand new Cadillac. So when you stop and you think about all the things that we put out there, all the bits, how many people know how many bits, millions and millions of bits we get every day, right? And we're grabbing at these pieces. And there's only so much that we can even take in. So I'm asking you, I just gave you all the evidence in the world, and so did some other people here, about supporting visualization and manifestation. So as we're looking to this, how are you dealing with the NAR? Let's get real now. What are you talking about in your head? What are you saying about the NAR settlement? Are you visualizing and speaking out loud? Oh, people aren't going to sign them by a broker. Blah, 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 blah. Has anybody said that? Are you guys questioning that? Not us. Not when you look at Inman News and you look at every other company out there that is saying, hats off to EXP. You were the first company to step up. Every company is following our forms. The Ferry organization coaching is broker agnostic. They have never supported out loud publicly a brand before. They are even telling the world that we have our stuff together, which reminds me, please, 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 we have next Wednesday, we have the CEO of our company, Leo, who's brand, he's coming on Wake Up Wednesday. Come on. Who can call up the CEO of their company and say, look at Titi. Actually, I was with Leo and I asked him to do it. So I'm visualizing great speakers for you guys. I want you to know that. I've got him. I've got Darren. He is he's on our board of directors. He's been knighted by the Queen. I start talking to Pam about him because his passion is clean water. So He's going to be on with us. We have Holly Mayberry coming back, who's the head of brokers all across the country. Guys, I want you to visualize what's going to show up in your lives. Because I am freaking on fire. Gene sent me a text the other day telling me, you know, how proud he is of me. I want to share that. Your brother actually paid a compliment. I'm like, oh my God, you make me cry. So do you have evidence now that this works? Do I have any naysayers on the call? And if I do, tell me. Tucker, what you thinking over there? I'm afraid to ask.
You know, I was thinking about when I was a competitive swimmer, and my coach literally looked at me and said, I want you before every match, before every event, to go into the men's bathroom, stare into the mirror, and visualize. I already know who's on my right side, who's on my left side. He said, I want you to visualize your entire event. So if your event takes 55 seconds, I don't care. I want you to visualize that event, and I want you to see yourself winning. So you're going to pick up your head and you're going to look to the right, take another stroke, you're going to look to the left, and you're going to be out ahead. You know, it happens, Peggy. I mean, it's unbelievable how it happens.
Thank you, Tucker, because I thought you were going to be skeptical on this. And when you said visualize the entire event, that's why I went back to Dee Dee and said, we've got to walk it through right to that money has hit your bank account. That soul sign there, it is done. It is, you know, complete. And then I want you to visualize what you're going to do with that money. And I want you to visualize that money coming and coming and coming and coming. And Brad, you are going to Disney. We're going to be able to stand here and go, woohoo! Where are you going next, Brad? I'm going to Disney. So, can you visualize, and we've already kind of talked about this, and manifest special skills? Yes, you can. So is there something that you want to get a little bit better at? Some people might say, I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better dad. I want to get better on picking up my kids on time. I want to be intentional about having dinner X amount of times with my kids. It just doesn't have to be about work or stuff for you. Let's go back to what Gogo said. She visualized this amazing house with her entire family there. It is crazy. She came from nothing. I didn't really know her story. And I don't care what you think of her. You know, there's a lot of different opinions about it. Right this minute, I'm just going to the fact that she had absolutely nothing. And now she's speaking up on stage. What stage do you want to talk on? Who wants to be up on stage and talk at a build event? Dee, what's that look like?
It looks very similar to Go-Go's. She moved me with her story too, because leaving her home at 14 and not needing a penny from her parents and having the options of the jobs she had, like at an oil rig, I think was one of them, and and to pick something like an au pair to first start her job here without knowing English, you know, just speaking of that and speaking of my truth to help others. That's what I want to do. And of course, we have different ways of doing it. But she inspired me a lot with her story coming from nothing. I have a similar, not that of, but humble beginnings. I come from humble beginnings. Well, we didn't have contacts or anything. I had to do everything first in the family to do everything. So just hearing her story of courage and doing it without knowing how, and just by visualizing it, That's
Mhm.
amazing. I wish I had known about visualization years ago. I'm all new to this. I wish I had known.
And Tucker, your hand's up. I'll get to you in 1 second. I want you to know what I have figured out is that our subconscious is known about visualization. We have been visualizing and manifesting without even knowing that we've been doing it. So think about this. How cool is it that now you know about it and you can take it to the next level? Tucker.
Yes. I was just thinking, Peggy, that a lot of people think that the people standing on the stage have got big egos. It's not that they have big egos. They've been asked to share their story. And I want to say to everybody that the people on stage and at the head of the classroom make the most money. So you need to visualize yourself on the stage, sharing your story, whatever it is. And everybody has a different story.
That's great. And I seriously have tears because what you're just talking about. So, you know, Nicole's a pretty big deal. People want to be with her. She's Gina and Susan's daughter. She's an influencer. She's, you know, she's wonderful. And there was a guy, and she can't say his name. Is it we? We? I don't, is Pam saying yes? So
Yes.
there's big people on stage, and you know, there was a build event the day before, and a lot of the top speakers ended up going to California and then flying all night to come to speak on our stage. And I believe English is his second language. He's a brand new agent. He kept saying to Nicole, I want to be on stage. I want to be on stage. He sent her his whole presentation. I mean, right. And she's like, who is this guy? He's funny. He's this, he's that. Kept saying. He goes, I'm coming to build. I'm going to be on that stage. And Nicole's like, I'm already overbooked. I mean, this is a major production when you're talking about this. Somebody wasn't able to go. And at the last second, we was on stage. And here's this young guy just starting out in real estate, barely speaking English. And he's speaking on one of the biggest stages out there with some of the most influential people in the real estate industry. I'm not just talking EXP, I'm talking in the world. And he did it. And he told us that he practiced every day, that he saw himself on that stage. He was very specific that he saw himself in Dallas at Build 24, scared to death. And did he get a standing ovation or what, Tucker? Pam, you
Did
were
a
there.
Great job. Fabulous job.
Listen, I coming from Keller Williams and having been trained on what you say and how you speak and being a speaker in general, it's really hard for me to listen to some people on stage because they don't know what they should be doing, or they do and then they don't. Like there was a couple people that I was like, okay, you should know better and you're not even doing well. And he did fantastic. Like
Sorry, keep going.
For not being trained or being his first time up on stage, he was incredible. And so when I say that, I really mean that, okay guys, because I'm super judgmental because I know better, and a lot of people, it's just hard once you know something and how it should work or look or be, And when people botch that all the time, you're like, oh, it's just really frustrating. Like I used to have my massage license. And so when I go get a massage, it's really hard for me because I'm like, oh, you didn't do that right. Or that should have been longer, or, you know, whatever, because it's just not the same once you've seen behind the curtain kind of thing. And this guy did amazing. He had people laughing. He had people standing up. He was energetic. He was engaging. He did incredible. It was really, really cool.
It was awesome. And Nicole stood up there speechless saying, there was no way, you know, she was trying to be kind to this guy, but she's like, there's no way he's getting up on stage. But he called her, he texted her. He showed up in Dallas. He had his PowerPoint ready to give to her. And she, you know, I was with her that night at her house, and we're like laughing about this because he saw himself doing the impossible. By the way, Annie just left the call because she's going to the hospital, and the baby's on its way. So she's going to be a grandma. That's really cool. So that means Jean's going to be an uncle. So I want you to understand the power that we have. When you put your goals up there and you talk about, you know, our company is what, Ash, give me the stats on this. We're number one in volume production. What are we, who knows all this? I mean, I know we're number one, but what are the statistics on it? Anybody know off the top of their head?
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure it was in volume and total number of sites.
Yeah. The largest independent company, we're not a franchise, largest independent broker, we're killing it. Do you think Glenn had a vision? Do you think Gene had a vision when he sold everything 9 years, it's going to be 10 years. He gave up 6 offices. He gave up the Northern California and Hawaii region. There were 500 agents at this company. People say you're crazy. People call you a crook. People, you know, say all this stuff. And what does Gene say? Now they're calling him for advice. Because he had a vision. His vision was to grow this company to like 40,000 agents, I think, in 10 years. I mean, what's the stats on Keller Williams? They've been how many years? And they're only at 100 and something thousand agents. And they didn't get to 90,000 agents, I think, for almost 25 years, something like that. You got to think big, guys.
The important thing with this whole story is that Glenn Sanford looked at Gene Frederick. I don't know if you all know this. And he said, I know that I created the best real estate company out there, but I needed you to go out and sell it. And I think that's interesting. As great salespeople, we still need the marketing. We need the engine out there to sell, but we provide the gas to make it go.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene was compensated very attractively, but it was an incentive-based deal, and he literally knocked the leather off the ball.
He did.
And kudos to him.
And he visualized other people getting the vision. You know, so people don't come here for attraction anymore. Nothing but the mint. What'd you say, Ash?
It's just a quote about marketing.
Oh, I didn't hear. I couldn't read it. What did it say? Nothing.
This is nothing but the mint can make money without marketing.
Oh, without marketing.
You can't.
Thank you.
You can't make money without telling a story.
You have to.
And marketing.
That's a great quote. And with all of this,
My favorite and the only quote I can tell you.
I know Benjamin Franklin's because it was picked in 8th grade graduation, but that's about it. what are you doing? We're a company of production. We have the top people in the world. I mean, I don't know if you guys know Andrew out in Temecula. He was on the cover of Time magazine. I'm stealing that one. He visualized that when he tells you a story. You know, Jay Kinder was what, #1 in the world, #2 with Coldwell Banker. Gene visualized agents coming. He made a list of the top agents in the history of real estate, and they came. And now look at us. There's no reason. If Glenn and Gene and all the top leaders out there can visualize that we are going to be the #1 company in volume and production, we have agents literally standing in line who are the top producers in the world to come to us. Those are big visualizations. So I want to know, where are you emotionally on manifestation and visualization? Are you just listening to this call and saying, okay, I'm going to do it? Are you getting into it? Because emotion plays a really huge critical role in this, guys. It amplifies, it ramps up your visualization. It makes you vibrate at a higher level. It becomes the most powerful thing you can do in your life. When you emotionally connect with your vision, it becomes more real to your subconscious. Because remember, you know, if you practice NLP, and we're going to do some stuff on another call on NLP, when you practice NLP, your mind doesn't know if it's real or not, right? You want something, your mind says, okay, we have it. So going into working, I mean, I'm celebrating 40 years with my real estate license this month. It doesn't seem possible. Yeah, 40 years. I got licensed 1984 in Connecticut. Let's talk about, some people say negative thoughts. So we have a negative thought, it comes through our head. Is that going to mess up everything? Is that going to just wipe out the universe of what we're thinking in positive?
You can't let them enter your mind, Peggy.
But Tucker, no, I don't mean to say but, excuse me. And Tucker, we do, we're human.
But you need to condition yourself to the point that it's there and then it leaves. You cannot let negative thoughts rule your life. You cannot do it.
No, you can. And we're also human. I coach. I do this all the time. And actually, do I have negative shit sometimes? Do I call you? My friend Darlene's on this call.
It's frustrating because it's interesting. We're almost the exact opposite. Like, I know manifestation works. I believe in it. I don't actively do it as much as I should. But I don't have negative thoughts. I have the working against me, or thinking that I'm not worthy, or worried about what other people think, and judgment. And like, I don't have that mess in my mind on a constant basis. Whereas Peggy, manifestation is constant. It's all day, every day for her. It's the parking spot, it's the flowers, it's the little things, and it's the big things. And it comes so easy to her. But then the negative.
Oh, thank God her thing just blacked out. No, sorry. That's me manifesting. You're not going to be able to tell the story.
Yeah.
Go back and say it. Go back and say it.
Well, but that's just that.
You've totally blacked out on. Can't hear you. So what she's saying, and my friend Darlene, who's on this call too, I sometimes get into shit in my head. Yes, I do. Sarah's heard me do it, you know, and I go down this rabbit hole. However, I have hired a coach. Shocker. This person has hired one of the most amazing coaches out there. And now I'm learning little tricks to overcome the obstacles of negative thinking. So if you check, first of all, I want you to, I'm going to check the time. It's going by fast. I'd love you to check your belief system. We have to talk about what we believe in. And if we encounter obstacles, we need to, go back and reassess things. And we need to go back and look at, okay, why is that showing up? How do we get there? Check your beliefs and make sure they're aligning with your goals. Visualizing overcoming challenges and adjust when necessary. You can take that back, Obstacles can also be opportunities for growth and learning. I spent some time yesterday on the phone with a good friend of mine who's in real estate. She's been in real estate for a long time. Unfortunately, I was exhausted at the end of the call because all she kept saying was how bad this NAR thing is. And she's going to get out of business. And she, this happened back in Relo and people never signed it. And I was like, stop, just stop. Let's look at this in a different way. Let's reframe this. Let's look at this as an opportunity. Because again, we have all the tools, right? What's our listing agreement? Like 4 pages now or something? It's like, right there. And our buyer agreements are all right there. You've got to change the way you look at things. And it starts tiny. And even with my thought process, man, I need to change the way I look at things. Right, Darlene? Right, Ash? I go down rabbit holes. I'm learning why I'm doing that or why I've done it. And it's because when you talk about your beliefs, sometimes I really don't believe in myself. And that's okay to say that. Because there's a saying that we used at Keller Williams in bold, you have to break down to break through. I think that applies in any situation. And you have to be willing and feel safe. So my affirmations today, I did a morning visualization and meditation this morning. And I've just hit 80 weeks of solid without breaking that chain. I had done some before, but missed a week. And my affirmation for today is that I'm safe, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm in the best place where I need to be right now. Start saying those things. Start believing in that. Because if you want to grow, which I know all of you do, that's why you're on these calls, you need to write things down. You need to look for opportunities in your business, in your family, in your health. It's not just about, oh, I sell real estate. Yeah, you're a realtor, but who else are you? Who's the person behind the realtor? And are you believing in yourself? I want you guys to think about and really today write down what you see for January 1st. What are you celebrating at the end of the year? Where are you New Year's Eve? Who are you with? I've had to also 86 some people in my life. There's more coming because the negative sucks. I'm not getting into all the other crap that I don't need anymore. I've gone through some major changes. I lost a really good friend that I was hanging out with him for 1.5 years. He went in a different direction. My godson Jack moved back to Connecticut. It's like, okay, this shows up. So what? Let them. So that's my other affirmation that I would love for you guys to incorporate. Remember last year we were doing high fives in the mirror? How many remember that, getting up? We had a challenge to get up every day, walk into the mirror and go high five, because you cannot high five yourself and have a negative thought. So I'm kind of like wrapping this up and I'm, what are you guys thinking? Where do you want to go?
I would like to know, how did you visualize Wake Up Wednesday?
Well,
Like,
How
how
I,
did you visualize Wake Up Wednesday? How did it come to for you?
that's a great
Because
question.
it's an amazing group. I love it. Is this what you visualized?
Oh, yeah. And I also know that when it's a small, intimate group like this, it's like I feel all of your energy and I can really focus. And I mean, gosh, some days we're, depending upon who the speaker is or where we're at, we get a lot of people on these calls. And then a lot of you will text me after the small, intimate calls and go, oh my God, I love the small group. I don't want to grow. So I'll tell you a story. I went to college for communications, and my husband was in radio for 40 years, and he was kind of the star already. So I had always wanted to be Barbara Walters. And I love interviewing people and getting people engaged in conversations. I will go really extreme and push people's buttons and all of that. But I want to have fun too. And I want to give people a reason to come back. So I watch all these videos all the time, and it's boring. A lot of them are boring. They're the same old thing, repetitive over and over and over. And that's why I've created my coaching program, Conversations with a Purpose. Because sometimes you can't just do scripts. So Gene and I were thinking about, okay, what can we do to engage his group, give back to you guys, to give something weekly that you didn't have to pay for, that where people would show up and share. And I said, okay, let's do Wake Up Wednesdays. Of course, I was on the East Coast at the time, so 9:00 was a cool time. Come as you are. Told Ashley, she threw together a sunrise and a little thing on Canva, come as you are. And I just kept saying, we're going to make a difference and we're going to have fun doing it. And it's going to be about the people on the call. So I went to Gene with this idea and said, I've got a crazy idea for like a Zoom talk show podcast. He said, try it. Let's see how it goes. And here we are 2 years later with over 100 episodes and some of the most amazing guests and content. And no one's ever asked me that question before, Dee. That's what you could have asked on the cruise ship when we were filming with Blended Sense, if that had ever all come together.
That would have been great. I was just curious because you're talking about manifesting, and I'm like, well, this is a big thing you've created. I wanted to know how it started, and I wasn't here from the very beginning, so I was just curious.
Wow.
So
Can you
thank
guys hear me?
for the
Question. And I see great things happening with this. We're not done. We're in our retreat. Oh, the biggest thing was the retreat, though. That was a scary manifestation. Oh my gosh. I go to Gene and Susan. I said, okay, I want to use your lake house. What for? I'm going to have a retreat. Well, who's going to come? I said, they're going to come. And then I said, I called Trey and I said, Trey, I need your lake house. What for? I'm going to have a retreat. And they're like, you're going to have a retreat from Wake Up Wednesday? I'm like, yep. We were sold out. We had people in bunk rooms, in double beds, in bunk rooms. I mean, it was crazy. I didn't really, and Ashley, the first year, true story, I didn't really tell her about it in the beginning because I was afraid it was going to be a huge failure. And it was like, okay, it was so big that this past year we scaled it down. And I'm not sure, Sarah, how you're feeling about the smaller group on it. I've gotten good and mixed feelings. So for next year, I'm just putting it out there. We've already got the dates. It's almost already sold out. We're thinking we have to do a second week. I'm also visualizing an intimate cruise, like on maybe going through Colombia or doing something different on one of those small ships like a Viking. It's going to happen, guys. So I'm putting it out there to the universe. If you're interested, why wouldn't you be? I mean, Sarah, just quickly, why should people come? You've come 2 years now.
Yeah. It's just such a good time to reset yourself, your attitudes, your energy level. always learn something new. Just, having time with Stephanie and Eric, and then Deanne. I mean, and the relationships, we see everybody on Zoom from like here up, and, just getting to know people on a personal level and make those connections. It's just, it's such a special time. I think you get out of it what you want to get out of it. And some people are just going with kind of like an arm's length. I'm not sure about all this stuff. I'm just here for relaxation, and that's okay too. This last year I went with full intent. I was going to get everything out of it I could possibly get, and I did. And I think the cruise idea sounds kind of fun. Actually, I love the lake house. It's beautiful. But I'm open for new adventures as well.
I am too. So we are working on that. So now I'm putting it out there that we're going to do a cruise. Yeah. So I'm here to say you can manifest everything. So think about this. Growing up, I visualized that I would have a talk show. Guess I kindly have one. Didn't really think about it that way till Dee Dee just actually asked the question. And who would have thought that when I was at Sarah's, I would say, I'm going to drive a bulldozer. You guys would have gone, yeah, right. I drove that freaking bulldozer. I made a video for Sarah, and I said, I'm here to bulldoze the competition down like a boss. Pam, did you see me driving that bulldozer? And her husband, I don't know how much that equipment costs and liability and everything. He's like, get in, Peggy. They gave me a work shirt to wear. And I was scared to death to drive a bulldozer. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I said to myself, I'm jumping in this machine. I did it. I mean, I was really driving it. So what are you driving? So who wants to share that hasn't really said anything? Pam, well, you've talked, but I'm just going back to you. What are you thinking?
Well, I was going back to when you were talking about what we do with our negative thoughts and our negative emotions. I think one of the things I've learned the most just this year is that's the time to plug into your people. I have battled things like that my whole life, and I've always felt like when I'm not bringing my best, I need to hide from everyone. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We have a coaching call later. Just start getting it out.
But, and honestly, it's just been since joining EXP in October of last year and meeting some of you guys, Peggy and the amazing people in our organization that have taught me and like really embraced me during those times. And I'm like, we still love you. You still belong here. Get back up, dust yourself off, and let's do this. And I think that's what I've learned the most, here recently is, yes, we're going to have those negative emotions, those negative thoughts, those lies are always going to enter our realm. And when they're too big for you, grab somebody else, and hold on to them and just embrace it.
I love you, Pam.
I love you too.
This has become, and I've said this to you guys, I get more out of this. This lifts me up. And that's why my coaching is different. Brad, do we talk about some deep shit? Did you ever think, come on. Some of the things we've talked about, this isn't about, I don't coach, and that's why I do conversations with a purpose. It's not just about your production. I know you can do it. I want to know why you're not doing it, and I want to help you break through to see that. What's holding you back? We got this, guys. We have a great community. I'm visualizing 75 people minimum next week on this call with Leo. So I'm going to need all of you, and I'm going to be posting this in our workplace chat. I need all of you to really get the message out there. I'm going to get a flyer made up right away. Because for the CEO of the largest franchise independent company in the world, basically to spend time with us, bye Pam, spend time with us is huge. So can I get your help to promote that? Yes. I just
Peggy,
love you.
I have to add something before we go to Sarah's
Yeah.
husband, who put you in the bulldozer. It goes to show that who you're with makes a difference. Because even though you had your doubts, he said, you're gonna get in and we're gonna do it. And now I know why Sarah is such a kick butt person, right? She gets her stuff because she has a partner that will put her friend in a bulldozer. And it doesn't matter. It just goes to show the person that you're next to, close to, like proximity thing, that he had an energy that made you feel that you could do it, no matter how big that monster of a bulldozer was. You killed
Yeah,
it. That's
then they let me drive, I don't know, some kind of a tripped out whatever through cows in the middle of the night. And I got out and kissed cows in the middle of the night. And I had 5 people in this decked out whatever that cost, I don't care how much money, they let me drive that. And they all trusted me. And I drove through cow pastures for an hour or so. It was like, what do you want to do, Peg? I want to go play with the cows. Okay, let's go do it. I want you to put out there things that you've never done before. I did not want to go to Denver. Oh, I did. I love my girlfriend. If she sees this recording, I don't want to put it that way, but I kept saying to Sarah, I want to be at the lake. I want to be at the lake. I want to be at the lake. Sarah drops me off at the airport. My freaking flight got canceled, and Sarah, for some reason, didn't drive 2 hours back. She was still in the area to pick me up, drive 2 hours back to Kentucky, and I was on the lake. I don't know, guys. Remind me next time to tell you my watermelon story. Love you all. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later. Brad, let's catch up later.
Thanks,
get you
Peggy. It's good to see you. I've missed you guys.
So when am I coming
ya.
back? Is my summer job still available? I'll call you later.
Anytime. We'll print you out a time card.
Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
thank you, Peggy. Love you guys. Bye.